Hello everyone. Welcome back to the lecture series in Python. In this video, we are going to learn about list, and this list is a built-in data structure and it is used to generally create and store collection of items. When we go for data types like integer, float and other things, we can store only one variable, only one value. Whereas when we want to go for collection of items, we can go for list. And this collection can be either collection of homogeneous elements or otherwise heterogeneous elements. The meaning of homogeneous elements is nothing but all the elements in the list belong to the same data type, and heterogeneous elements means they belongs to different data types. And a list may contain data types like integer, string, float, as well as objects. So a list can contain another list, it can contain a set, and so on. And coming to the properties of list is generally mutable. So the meaning of mutable is once we create the list, after that we can add elements, we can remove the elements, and we can even change the value of already existing elements. So that is called as mutable. We have already seen strings. In case of strings, we cannot change any value, whereas in case of a list, we can change the values once it is created. List is the order collection of items, and when we add elements to the list, they will be added in the same order, and whenever we are trying to add new elements, they will be added only to the end of the list. They will not be added in the middle. And list is an indexed data structure. We can access the elements in the list by means of the index. The indexing in a list always starts with 0, and in case of a list, it allows duplicate values. So when we add element 5 to the list, we can even add the same element to the list and another time. That is possible. And whenever we are going to create a list, we are going to use square brackets for this. Now let's see how to create a list in this video. First, I'm going to create an empty list. So an empty list is nothing but a list without any element. So to create the empty list, we have to use a square bracket. And within square bracket, since it is an empty list, we are not going to specify any values. And when we create the list by means of this, it is going to create a reference. So we are going to store the reference in a variable called list1. And I'm printing the list by means of print list1. When I do that, it will print all the elements in the list. Now, currently, I don't have any element in the list. So when I print, I'm getting an empty list by means of empty square bracket. And I can even print the type of the list by means of print type list1. So when I do that, I'm getting the output as class list. So what is the meaning of classes? All thing in Python is an object. So I'm getting the keyword class because object is nothing but instance of the class. So I'm getting class list. So this list is nothing but this is a class name. So I'm getting an object which is the instance of the class list. Now let's see how to create a homogeneous list. I already told you that homogeneous list is going to contain all the elements of same data type. So now I'm going to create a list called fruits, which contains 4 elements: banana, apple, orange, and mango. All these things are nothing but sequence of characters. So it is a string data type. So to create a string, I have to enclose the characters either inside single quote or double quote or triple quote. So I'm going to now enclose the characters in a single quote. So banana is the first element in the list. Apple is the second element. Orange is the third. Mango is the fourth. I'm enclosing all these elements inside a square bracket because it is a list. So when I print fruits, it is going to print all the elements in the list one by one. Now you can see that the output is having the elements in the same order in which we have inserted the elements. So banana is the first element, apple is the second, orange third, mango fourth. So the order is maintained. That's why we say that list is a ordered data structure. And now I am printing the type of the list. So I am getting the output as class list. And I can print the memory location of the list by means of id function. So I am calling the function id. To this function, I am passing this list we have created. It is fruits. When I print, I am getting the starting memory address of this particular list. And I can even print the length of the list by means of the length function. This function is going to return how many elements are present in the list. So to the length function, I have to pass the object, which is nothing but fruits. When I do that, I'm getting the answer as 4. The reason is this particular list is containing totally 4 elements. And here we have created the list by means of simply square bracket, where we have to pass all the elements one by one. And we can even create the list by means of a constructor. And constructor is nothing but it is a member whose name is same as a class name. Actually, constructor is a function only. So if you consider the list is having the name of the class as list. So constructor is nothing but it is a function whose name is same as a class name. So the name of the function will be list. And since it is a function, we have the open and close parenthesis. So we can create the list by means of the list constructor. And the input to the list constructor should be specified as the iteratable object. So what is the meaning of iteratable object is I can loop through all the elements in the object one by one. That is called as iteratable object. We have seen in the previous lectures that list is an iteratable object, tuple is an iteratable object, even string is an iteratable object. We can pass any of these objects as argument to the list constructor. So now let us consider how to create a list of odd numbers by means of this list constructor. So first I have to call the list constructor. So you can consider here I am calling list. This is nothing but the class name. And since constructor is a function, I have the open and close parenthesis. And inside this, I have to specify the iteratable object. Now I am specifying one of the iteratable object as list. So I am going to create a list by means of these elements. And it is going to create a list and that is stored in a variable called odd underscore numbers. And now I am printing odd underscore numbers by means of the print function. And even I am printing the length of that by means of print length odd underscore numbers. When I do that, I am getting the answer as first is going to print. This print statement is going to print the entire list. And length function is going to print the number of elements in the list. So I am getting 6. If you consider this, I have 5 appearing 2 times in the list. So totally I have 6 elements. List is allowing duplicate elements to be inserted. Even though 5 is appearing twice, every element will be considered as a separate element only. This is not true in case of a set. We will see that later. Whereas list is allowing us duplicate elements. Now let's see how to create a list from a range function. We have already seen what is a range function. It is used to generate a range of numbers by specifying starting value, ending value, and an optional step value. So I'm going to create a list of even numbers from 10 to 40. So for this, I'm going to use the list constructor along with the range function. So first I'm calling list, the parenthesis open and then close. Inside that, I have to call the range function. To the range function, I have to pass 2 arguments, that is the starting value and then the ending value. So here I need to generate even numbers from 10 to 40. So starting value is specified as 10 and ending value I am specifying 41 because this number will not be included. I'll be getting all the values just before this value. Now I want to generate only even numbers. So even numbers are nothing but 10, 12, 14, 16 and so on. So I have to give the step value. This is very important now. If I don't give the step value, it will be generating numbers continuously. That is 10, 11, 12 will be generated till 40. But I want only even numbers. So I am giving the step value as 4. And whatever is generated, that is stored in a variable called even underscore numbers. Then I am printing it. If you consider the output, all the even numbers from 10 to 40 are printed in this. And it is created as a list because all the elements are enclosed within square bracket. And we can even create a list by using this list constructor from a string because string is also an iteratable object. As in the previous case, range is an iteratable object. We can even use string, which is an iteratable object. Now I'm going to create a list from the string by means of the list constructor. So for that, I need to call the list constructor by passing the argument as a string. So I am passing welcome inside double quote. Now, when I do that, a list will be generated by considering all the characters which are present in the string one by one. So the first character in the string is W. So that will be the first element in the list. And E is the second element in the list and so on. All the characters in the string are now considered as elements of the list. So totally there are 7 characters in welcome. So I'm getting a list with 7 elements. If I print the length of this, I'll be getting 7 as an output. And we can even create a list by means of simple multiplication operation. If I ask you to create a list of 10 zeros or 50 zeros, instead of writing zeros 10 times or 50 times, we can simply use this multiplication operation. So we are going to create a list of 10 zeros. Therefore, you have to first create a list of 1 0. Then you have to multiply that by 10. So this is going to create a list of 10 zeros. So that I am storing in a new variable called 0 underscore list. When I print, I am getting a list with 10 zeros. And instead of writing 0 as a list element multiplied by 10, we can even write 10 multiplied by 0 inside a list. Remember to enclose this 0 inside square bracket, otherwise it will be considered as an integer. But we need to generate a list. Now, so far we have seen how to create a homogeneous list where all the elements in the list are of same data type. Now let's see how to create a heterogeneous list. Heterogeneous list is a list whose elements are not of same data type. So here I have a list which contains two string variables. One is name of a person and the other is the country of the person. Then I have the third element as integer and fourth element as floating point data. So third can be the age of the person and fourth is the height of the person in centimeter. So now, since the first two are strings, I am enclosing them inside single quote, and then the remaining two elements are third one is integer and fourth one is a floating point data. All are not of same data type. And I'm creating a list from this by enclosing inside a square bracket. And that is stored in a list variable called list2. And when I print, I'm getting all the elements printed in the same order. And sometimes we can create a nested list. Nested list is nothing but a list inside another list. Or you can say that a list whose element is also a list. For example, now I'm going to create a nested list. So if you consider, I have an outer square bracket. Inside that, I'm going to write the elements of the list. So the first element is A section. It is a string, which is containing the name of the section. And then the second element is, I am creating a list with 4 elements. The first element is 5.5, second is 2.3, 6.6, 9.5. Since it is a list that is enclosed in a square bracket. And the third element of list 3 is, again one more list, which contains a gender, male, female, male, and male. All these 4 elements are given inside square bracket because it is a list. Now I am printing the list 3. Here, all the elements in the list 3 are printed. When I print length of list 3, I am getting only 3 because it is going to count how many elements are there in the outer list. I have only 3 elements in the outer list. First is a string, second is this list, and third one is this list. So I am getting the length of list 3 as 3. And in case of a list, we can perform concatenation. Concatenation is nothing but combining 2 lists together. So we have already created list 2, which is a heterogeneous list. I'm going to concatenate this list 3 after the list 2 by means of list 2 plus list 3. And then I am printing. If you consider the output, we have a new list created, which are from the elements of list 2 and then list 3. So Ram, India, 55, 160.5 are elements of the list 2. After that, elements of the list 3 are concatenated. And we have already seen how to do repetition. Repetition is nothing but if you have a list, you can repeat the list many times and all the elements will be stored in the same list. So here we have fruits already, which is containing totally 4 fruits in this. Now I am going to multiply fruits by 3. That is, I'm going to repeat the list 3 times. And I can even do 3 multiply by fruits, whatever may be the thing, I'm going to get the same list repeated 3 times. This is the first time, and here I have the second time, and in this I have the list third time. And all these things are inside a new list. So it is called as repetition of the list. Next, we will see how to find whether a particular element is member of a list or not. For that, we have membership operators in and then not in. So here I have a list 2, which contains totally 4 elements. Ram, India, 55, 160.5. I want to check whether Ram is in the list So I am calling Ram in list 2. So since Ram is present in list 2, I am getting true. Then I am checking whether Ram, the first letter is small letter now, not in list 2. If you consider the first letter capital R, Ram is only present in the list. This Ram is not present in the list. So when I run this, it is saying that Ram is not in the list. That is true. So I'm getting the answer as true. And another important operation in a list is called as unpacking a list. So we have already created a list with the help of packing. So packing is nothing but assigning values to the list when it is created. So here, when I write list 2 is equal to Ram India 55,160.5, here I am creating the list. In this case, all these values are packed together and a list is created. This is called as packing. And we can do unpacking also. In case of unpacking, we have a list. From the list, we are going to extract the elements, and then we are going to store the value of the elements into separate variables. That is called as unpacking. So extracting the values from list into variables. So here, if you consider this list, totally I have 4 values. Now I am going to extract the values from the list and store it in different variables. So I need to have 4 variables. So the first is name. So I'm storing it in a variable called a name. Second is country. Third one is age. Fourth one is height. So what I'm doing here is from the list 2, I'm going to extract the values and store the values in different variables. For that, the right hand side should be a list and left hand side should be variable names. And one more thing is very important. The number of variables in the left hand side must be equal to number of elements in the right hand side list. So here there are 4 elements in the list. Therefore, I have to use 4 variables. When I do that, Ram will be assigned to the first variable name. India will be assigned to the second variable country. 55 will be assigned to age, and then 160.5 will be assigned to the variable height. When I print name and age, I am getting Ram and then 55. And in case of unpacking, a very important thing is the number of variables in the left hand side should be equal to number of elements in the right hand side. So in this list, I have 4 elements, but here I am going to use only 3 elements, that is 3 variables. So what I'm going to get, it is going to generate an error. So what is the error is? It is called as value error. If you read the error, it is saying that too many values to unpack. The meaning is your list is having 4 elements, but here you are specifying only 3 variables. Therefore, in your list, too many values are present. So how to eliminate this error? We are getting the error, but we should know how to remove this error. For that, we can specify a special method by means of asterisk. So asterisk is nothing but here I have totally a list with 4 elements, but in this I am specifying only 3 variables. If you consider the first variable is name, second variable is country, in the third variable I am specifying asterisk others. Okay, so what is going to happen by this method? In your list, irrespective of number of elements, the first element will be assigned to name and the second element will be assigned to country. All the remaining elements in your list will be assigned to this asterisk others. When I print name, country, others, I am getting Ram, India. In case of others, I am getting a list. It is not a single data type. I am getting a list which contains the remaining 2 elements. Because out of 4 elements, first 2 elements are here. The remaining 2 elements will be stored in the variable star others. So when we print others, we are going to get the 2 elements as a list. And in this, we have specified asterisk to the third variable. It's not that we have to specify asterisk to the last variable. We can even specify that to the middle variable. For example, here I have first variable as name, third variable as height, and in the second variable, I am specifying asterisk other. Now, how the elements will be assigned? The first is a normal variable. Therefore, whatever is the first element in your list, that will be assigned to the first variable name. And the last element in your list will be assigned to the last variable height. Okay, other than that, your list is having 2 elements. But here you have only 1 variable. So both the elements will be assigned to others. So when I print a name, I am getting Ram. When I print height, I am getting the last element 160.5. And in case of others, the remaining two elements will be considered as a list of elements, which are nothing but India and 55 as a list. So with this, we have seen what is a list and how to create a list by means of the constructor as well as by means of the square bracket. In the next video, we will see how to access different elements in the list. Thank you.